Hi guys, welcome to the Unacademy platform and welcome to the Unacademy free live classes for the NTA UGC NET exam, Electronic Science subject. So before starting or else before going into the present content of this video, that is regarding the previous year question discussion, here the announcement is that Unacademy is providing the crash course for the UGC NET Electronic Science subject to the candidates who are going to write the exam on 5th November 2020. So already this course was started from October 1st onwards. Fine. So if you want to get the crash course, then you may take the subscription plan. Then you can access all the previous videos of this crash course. Fine. Here all the 10 units are going to be discussed in brief, and you will get the class PDFs also you can download, which will be very much helpful for your quick revision purpose. And you are going to get the important topics and the questions, okay, through the multiple choice questions, definitions, formulas, expressions, and the problems. Okay, all these things you will get in the crash course, which will be very much helpful to you to crack the JRF in this last minute preparation. And coming to the complete course for the UGC NET Electronic Science, this complete course is going to start from 10th November onwards. Okay, so to get these courses, you may take any one of the subscription plan. You may take the 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or the 24 months. Fine. So if you are planning to take the crash course, then you may take the 1 month subscription plan, or else if you are planning to write the exam in the upcoming months or in the next year, then you may take the 3, 6, 12 or 24 months, so based upon your goal when you want to write the exam. And if you are planning to take the subscription plan, then use my referral code Aswini, then you will get 10% discount on any one of the subscription plan. Okay, fine. And now coming to the present session. So in this session we are going to see the few questions regarding the December 2019. So the first question is, arrange the following materials in order of increasing mobility of the holes. Increasing mobility of the holes, that means mu suffix p. So for your reference purpose, I just kept here. For the silicon, the mobility of the hole is the 450, and while coming to the carbon, it is 1000, and for germanium 1900, and for the silicon carbide 100, and for the gallium arsenide 400. Okay, and the units to the mobility can be taken as centimeter square per volt second. So sometimes units are, remembering the units is also very important as per our UGC NET exam. So remember the units also for the different parameters. So these are the values, guys. So as per the given materials here, carbon, germanium, silicon carbide, and gallium arsenide. So they told to kept in the increasing order of the mobility. Okay, so increasing order means least one is the gallium arsenide. Sorry, least one is the silicon carbide. So that is C is the starting one. So out of all these options, C is starting one only in the second option. That means all the remaining options are the wrong. So C, that is silicon carbide 100 centimeter square per volt second. And while coming to the gallium arsenide, it is having the 400. That means next one is the D. And next carbon is having the 1000, and germanium is having the 1900. So the correct answer is the C, D, A, B. So remember these values, guys, may be helpful for the upcoming exam. Next, coming to the second question. In N-channel enhancement type MOSFET, as VGS is increased beyond the threshold level. Fine. So if you are taking the N channel enhancement MOSFET, then you can take like this. So it is the source, N type source and N type drain, and here the substrate is the P type. Okay. And we are going to take the gate and polysilicon. It is the drain, it is the source, and it is the gate terminal. Okay. And he is asking in N channel enhancement type MOSFET as VGS is increased. So if you observe the transfer characteristics of the N channel MOSFET, let's take ID here and VGS here. So whenever the VGS is increased, then ID current will increase like this, and here you can take it as a threshold voltage. That means if the gate to source voltage, that is the VGS, is increased beyond the threshold voltage, my drain current is increasing. That we can observe from the transfer characteristics of the N channel enhancement type MOSFET. So in this case, whenever the drain current is increasing, then automatically the channel is going to be built up. Okay, before the threshold voltage, the channel will not be completely formed in between the source and drain. Whenever the threshold voltage is crossed, then automatically what will happen is that here the channel will takes place, then the more number of charge carriers will be induced into the channel from the source, right? So as per this concept, the density of free carriers in the induced channel will increase. That is, the fourth option is the correct one. Right? And next, coming to the third. The band gap energy of silicon depends on temperature and can be described as band gap energy of the silicon. So silicon is nothing but a semiconductor. As we know that semiconductor devices, for the semiconductor devices, the energy band gap is nothing but the gap between the conduction band and the valency band. That means energy band gap can also be given as EC minus EV. So EC minus EV is inversely proportional to the temperature. It means as you are increasing the temperature, so inversely proportional means it is not the exact relationship that you will get the relationship here from this question, but just to make you understand, I am telling that as the temperature is increasing, the energy band gap is going to be decreases. Why? Because if the temperature is increasing, then what will happen is that more number of covalent bonds will break down, and due to the breakage of the covalent bonds, huge number of electrons, valence electrons will jumps to the conduction band. Then it leads to electron hole pair generation. That conduction band is not completely, almost filled with the electrons, and the valency band is almost filled with the holes. Okay, so due to this one, huge amount of conductivity will happen whenever the temperature is increasing. So if you observe all the four options here, which option tells that if you are increasing the temperature, then energy band gap is decreasing? So which option is giving this information here? So if you take here, if the temperature is increasing, Eg of T also increases. Fine. And here if you are increasing the temperature, then here also increases. And here, but here if you are increasing the temperature, this term will increase. Whenever this term is increasing, then automatically Eg of T is decreasing. That means the relationship between the energy band gap and the temperature is the second expression, that is Eg can be taken as Eg of T, or else Eg can be taken as E naught. That nothing but it is the E naught. That means energy band gap of the silicon at 0 degree kelvins is 1.21 electron volts minus beta into T. It is the correct expression, where beta is the material constant. For silicon it is 3.60 into 10 power minus 4. For germanium it is 2.44 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, So from this expression you can able to find out the energy band gaps of the semiconductors at any given temperature. So here the correct option is the second one. Next, we will go to the fourth question. Which of the following semiconductor devices are the heterostructure devices? Heterostructure is nothing but, hi Anjum, good afternoon. Heterostructure is nothing but you have to combine the two materials, material 1 and material 2. So both these two materials has to be combined such that when the heterojunctions will form means this material must have the work function phi 1 and this material must have the work function phi 2. That means whenever the two different materials are joined together to form a junction, okay, and these two materials are having the different work functions. First of all, what is the meaning of the work function is nothing but work function can be taken as the amount of energy required to emit an electron completely out of the surface of the material. That is nothing but a work function. Okay, so the best example is the thermionic emissions in the cathode ray tubes. If you are taking the CRT tubes or else the picture tubes in the olden televisions, there the thermionic emission is usually happens from the cathodes. So there emission is nothing but if you are giving certain amount of thermal energy to the cathode, then it absorbs the thermal energy, and whatever the electrons present in that cathode, it starts absorbing the energy and they will start getting out of the surface of the material. That is a work function. Okay, so based upon this one, if you are taking metal, let's take material 1 is the metal and material 2 is the semiconductor. Obviously metal is having one work function and semiconductor is having the another work function. If both these two are combined together, then whatever the junction we are going to form or else whatever the device we are going to get, the device is the heterostructure devices. Fine. So usually we are having the two different types of heterojunctions. So out of those two, one is the ohmic junction, second one is the Schottky junction. Okay, ohmic junction and the Schottky junction. So coming to this Schottky junction, the metal work function must be greater than the semiconductor work function, and while coming to the ohmic junction, the metal work function must be less than the semiconductor work function. Okay, so if these conditions are satisfied, then the corresponding junctions are going to be happened, and applications working of all these things, okay, that way I described in the plus classes. Okay, so the best example for this heterojunction is the high electron mobility transistor, because in the high electron mobility transistor we are going to take the gallium arsenide and undoped gallium arsenide and the doped gallium arsenide. Okay, so the quantum wells will happen here and the two-dimensional electron flow also takes place. Okay, and MOSFET, it is also called as a modified field effect transistor. Okay, it is also having the metal and semiconductor junctions. Fine. So here A and B are the correct one, and UJT and gun diode, both these two. UJT is having the single junction, gun diode is a completely junctionless device. Okay, gun diode is a junctionless device. You don't have any junctions. Completely N layer, N plus layer. Okay, you will keep on going to take like that. So here correct option is the A and B. So it is a fourth question. And coming to the fifth question, in a semiconductor, the concentration of holes in valency band can be given as. So as I told previously that the energy band diagram is having like this, and it is the conduction band and it is the valency band. So if we supply some energy to this one, then electrons will get excited to the valency electrons becomes the free electrons. That means the movement of electrons will take place from valency band to the conduction band. And conduction band is having the electrons and valency band is having the holes. So due to this one, the number of holes present in the valency band expression can be taken as a NV into e power minus of EF minus EV divided by KT. And coming to the number of electrons in the conduction band can be taken as a N is equal to NC into e power minus of EC minus EF divided by KT. Okay, So both these two expressions, so just remember this one, guys. So as per the given question here, first option is the correct one. Okay. Hi Akshaya, good afternoon. Coming to the sixth question. Consider the following statements. So in the following statements, BJT is a current control device with high input impedance and high gain bandwidth. So first point is that BJT is a current control device. So that is fine, and clearly we can say that BJT is a current controlled current source. Okay, BJT can be taken as a current controlled current source. Why? Because we will take usually IC is equal to beta IV. Okay, so based upon your base current, your output current, that is collector current, is going to vary. So based upon this expression, we can say that BJT is a current controlled current source. And while coming to the FETs are comes under the voltage controlled. FETs are comes under the voltage controlled current source. Fine. Why? Because voltage control means here VGS, gate to source voltage. Based upon the voltage that we are applying between the gate and source, your drain current is going to change. Fine. So these are all the expressions that we are going to take. So here current controlled device is fine, but it won't have the high input impedance. Usually BJTs will have the small input impedance. So here the A option is the wrong one. Next, FET is a voltage control device with high input impedance and low gain bandwidth. Absolutely, FET is a voltage control device and it is having the high input bandwidth impedance and the low bandwidth will be there. Next, UJT is a negative resistance device and can be used for a oscillator. Of course, UJT is having the negative resistance between the peak point and the valley point. Okay, between both these two, it is having the resistance. Why? Because if you take the IV characteristics of the UJT, you will get the curve like this. Fine, you will get the curve like this, and it is the peak point and it is a valley point. Okay, so in between both these two, we are going to get the negative resistance region. Okay, and here UJT can be called as a oscillator. I mean, whatever the devices having the negative resistance region, they will be helpful to produce the oscillations. And especially UJT is also called as a relaxation oscillator. Okay, relaxation oscillator. So here C is also correct. Next, FET and UJT can be used for amplification. FET can be used for the voltage amplifications, but UJT is useful for the oscillators. Okay, so D is wrong. So B and C is the correct. So option 2 is the correct one. Fine. So it is the sixth question. And next, coming to the seventh question. For a semiconductor with electrons and holes as carriers, the resistivity is given as. Okay, so coming to the semiconductors means usually while coming to the metals, we will write that J is equal to sigma E, and it can be written as NQ mu E. So it is for the metals. And coming to the semiconductors, semiconductors are having the two different types of charge carriers, holes and electrons. So that's why this equation J can be taken as NQ mu suffix NE plus PQ mu suffix PE. And from this one, you can take the N mu n plus p mu p QE. Okay, and if I compare both these two expressions, then in the place of sigma, what is there? In the place of sigma, I am having the Q of n mu n plus p mu p is there. And in the question he is asking the resistivity. Resistivity is equal to 1 divided by conductivity. Just reverse this one, you will get the resistivity. Fine. So your correct option is the 2. Second option is the correct one. Next, coming to the 8th question. The depletion layer with the thermal equilibrium for a one-sided abrupt PN junction. Okay, one-sided abrupt PN junction. So coming to this one, the depletion layer, you can remember the formula or else you can get this one from the Poisson's ratio. So usually I prefer to get from the Poisson's ratio, that is dou square P by dou x square is equal to minus rho by epsilon. Okay, it is the Poisson's ratio, where here Poisson's ratio. You can take this one as a barrier voltage, and you can take x as a width of the depletion region. Okay, you can take like this. And so coming to this expression, if you integrate both the two sides with respect to the dx, okay, two times with respect to the dx, then I will get v is equal to minus rho by epsilon x square by 2. Okay, I will get like this. And next, so from this expression, whatever the expression we got here, so actually what they are asking, width, right? So here let's take x as a width. Okay, x as a width, and from this expression w can be taken as, from this expression w can be taken as root of 2 epsilon barrier potential divided by rho. Okay, so just forget about the negative values, focus only on the magnitude. Okay, focus only on the magnitude. And so now, yeah, so now based upon this one, here rho can be taken as a, rho is a charge density, it can be taken as a n cube. Fine, that is nb into q. So square root of 2 epsilon vba by, so this one is the correct one, right? Yeah, free. So here the 8th question is the, sorry, for the 8th question, first option is the correct one. And next, while coming to the 9th one, the one-dimensional Poisson equation for the surface space charge region at the drain is, okay, so at the drain they are asking. So first point here is that if you are taking the drain, means it comes under the FET family. That means it is having the source, drain and the substrate, all these things will be there. So source and drain are the one type of extrinsic semiconductor, and the substrate is another type of extrinsic semiconductor. So now total you will be having the n type and the p type extrinsic semiconductors, right? So while coming to the n type, you are having how many charge carriers? Electrons and the donor ions. Electrons are having the negative charge, donor ions are having the positive charge. Coming to the holes, coming to the p-type semiconductor, holes as well as the acceptor ions. Holes are having the positive charge and acceptor ions are having the negative charge. Just put all these signs in front. Just put all these signs in front. Okay. Now what I will get? Minus n plus nd plus p minus na. So the third option is the correct one. Okay. Fine. And now while coming to the 10th question. Match the elements of the list given below. So what is the correct option in this one, guys? What is the correct option? PN junction diode, current equation is this one. Okay, that means A matching up with the 3. And MOSFET, this one, it is a MOSFET, current we can take like this. And coming to the JFET, current can be taken as this one. And coming to the ideal missed diode, you can take as like this. So that means A is going to 3. A is going to 3 in only one option. Okay, that means the first one is the correct. Fine. The first option is the correct one. And next, coming to the 11th question. So here the open loop voltage gain of the amplifier is given, operational amplifier. So open loop voltage gain is, let's take the 2000 it is. The noise level without, the noise level in the output without feedback, let's take it is 1 or 2 millivolts, and the negative feedback is 1 by 40. And what will be the noise level in the output with feedback? So if we once done the feedback, okay, negative feedback, then what will be the noise level output they are asking? So noise level output with feedback means, noise level with feedback can be taken as a, if we did the negative feedback, the noise levels will decrease. Clear? The noise levels will decrease. That is equal to N. 1 or 2 millivolts divided by 1 plus A into beta. Okay, 1 or 2 millivolts divided by 1 plus 2000 into 440. So this one will get cancels and 50. So you will get 1 or 2 milli divided by 51. Okay, 1 or 2 milli divided by 51 means it becomes is equal to 2 millivolts, right? Okay, it becomes is equal to 2 millivolts. Clear? So the correct option is the 2 millivolts. Okay. Okay, so these are the questions in the today's session. So in the tomorrow session we will discuss with a few more questions, guys. Okay, so please note down whatever the points, whatever the important points you find out here. Okay, and the candidates who are new to the Unacademy platform, okay, then here the crash course is present running, so you can take the crash course, guys. Okay, it's already started from the October 1st onwards and it continues up to the month of this October. So by the November 1st itself, we will be ready with the class PDF notes and the multiple choice questions also we are going to see here. Okay, and the complete course is going to start from November 10th onwards. So these are the different subscription plans. So if you want to take any subscription plan, then you may use my referral code, that is Aswini K. Then you will get the 10% discount on any one of the subscription plan. Okay, guys. Okay, bye, and tomorrow we will meet, guys, same time at 3 o'clock. Bye, Afrin, Akshaya, and Anjum. Bye, guys.